Welcome to your ultimate pit stop, Piston Pundit. Today we're diving into the underbelly of the automotive world, where the high stakes of electric vehicle innovation have led to some shocking scandals. We're pulling back the curtain on the top 5 EV controversies that are putting the brakes on the EV market. Coming in at number 5, the Electrify America controversy. Nearly a decade ago, the Dieselgate scandal rocked the automotive world. Volkswagen was found guilty of manipulating software on their diesel cars to cheat EPA emission tests, resulting in emissions 40 times higher than allowed. This cost Volkswagen billions and led to the creation of Electrify America, a network of over 4,000 public chargers for electric cars, funded by a $2 billion investment. However, this attempt at redemption paved the way for another scandal. Electrify America was ranked last in consumer satisfaction among fast-charging networks by J.D. Power. Studies showed that only 72.5% of fast chargers were operational, with every fifth charging attempt failing due to various issues. As EV ownership has increased, consumers have become aware of the inconveniences associated with electric cars, often overlooked in advertising. It's estimated that 18% of EV buyers eventually return to gas-powered cars, largely due to charging inconveniences. The poor performance of Electrify America's charging stations is contributing to the current slowdown in the EV market. In the number 4 spot, we have Tesla's Covert Complaints Management Team. Tesla, undeniably a leader in EV manufacturing, has faced criticism for its exaggerated claims about vehicle range. Despite boasting impressive autonomy of over 300 to 400 miles, real-world figures often fall short due to factors like driving style and weather conditions. Suspicions arose among Tesla owners about the company's use of software that displayed overly optimistic range projections. It was revealed that once the battery level fell below 50%, the software would suddenly show more realistic projections. Teslas are designed with a safety buffer of around 15 miles after empty battery readouts. When owners attempted to book dealer visits due to the lower-than-advertised range, Tesla deterred these visits by asserting that remote diagnostics had confirmed the battery was fine. As complaints grew, Tesla created a team to handle these cancellations, tracking each employee's cancellation count. To date, neither Tesla nor Musk have responded to these allegations. Before we delve deeper, do us a favor and smash that like and subscribe button. This helps us reach more auto enthusiasts just like you. Now let's shift gears and steer towards our next EV controversy. Taking the 3rd spot, we have the infamous dash for diesel. Many may recall former UK Chancellor Gordon Brown's tax system favoring diesel cars due to their lower carbon emissions. However, the overlooked fact was the higher emissions of harmful pollutants like nitrogen oxides and particulates. Fast forward to today, and we see a similar narrative with electric vehicles. Touted as zero-emission, planet-saving machines, governments are investing billions in EV incentives. Yet the drawbacks of EVs, such as charging and ownership costs, and their increased danger due to heavier weight, are often overlooked. Moreover, considering that 90% of EV owners also own a gas-powered car for long trips, it's clear that EVs aren't the environmental saviors they're marketed as. Current estimates suggest that by 2050, EVs will account for only 20% of global car travel. According to the UN Climate Panel, this will only reduce global temperatures by a minuscule 1/10,000th of a degree Celsius by the end of the century. Interestingly, the International Energy Agency found that hybrid cars emit the same amount of CO2 as EVs over their lifetime, despite being cheaper and lacking most of the downsides associated with EVs, particularly charging issues. In essence, the benefits of electric cars are minimal, while the downsides are numerous. Yet politicians are reluctant to tackle larger CO2 emitters, such as electricity production, agriculture, and industry. Remember, passenger cars only account for a mere 7% of global emissions. Coming in at number 2, the Nikola Scandal. Nikola, founded by Trevor Milton, serves as a stark example of the realities of the EV world. While we won't claim that the entire automotive electrification movement is built on a foundation of lies, it's clear that many of its aspects are merely the product of wishful thinking by various pioneers, officials, and politicians. The reality reveals a vast chasm between promises and execution. This scandal perfectly illustrates this point. It all started a decade ago when Milton founded a startup in his basement with the aim of creating a hydrogen fuel cell heavy-duty truck, an electric vehicle that would use hydrogen instead of batteries to store energy. 2 years later, we saw the prototype, Nikola 1, with Milton claiming it was a fully operational pickup, not just a concept truck. However, it soon emerged that this concept, along with many other projects and technological achievements, were nothing more than fabrications. Milton faced numerous accusations of false and misleading statements, from claims that one of his pickups, the Badger, was built from scratch using Nikola's parts and technology, to misleading statements about producing hydrogen at reduced costs. Milton even began taking reservations for future orders, presenting billions in revenue. The outcome? Milton was sentenced to 4 years in federal prison and slapped with a $1 million fine. And finally, at number 1, we have the GM Share Buyback. This might not be a scandal in the traditional sense, but it's a glaring sign that many established automakers are struggling to keep up with the shift to electric vehicles. General Motors, GM, long considered a behemoth on shaky ground, is a prime example. Despite significant investments in recent years and a clear commitment to an all-electric future, things aren't going according to plan. The company is hemorrhaging billions due to its inability to effectively adopt new technologies and adapt its production processes. Profits from gas-powered vehicles, such as pickups, are being used to offset the massive losses incurred by their EV investments. In this climate, where shareholders are dissatisfied with the projected earnings, it's no surprise that GM's share price has taken a hit. In response, GM officials made the logical decision to buy back shares worth $10 billion, equivalent to a quarter of the company's entire value. Investors are acutely aware that as GM continues to blindly follow government mandates for extensive electrification, it will continue to lose billions on electric vehicles. This is especially true given that traditional GM customers, who tend to be more conservative, are not keen on EVs. GM must continue to rely on profits from gasoline-powered vehicles for as long as possible and abandon the idea of producing over 1 million EVs annually by the end of this decade. If this doesn't happen, both the company and its shareholders can expect a rough ride ahead. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the world of EV scandals. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on the latest vehicle news, don't forget to subscribe to Piston Pundit. Keep your engines revving and your passion for cars alive.